Haven't been attacked by a dragon in a while, so I may be attacked fairly soon. One good thing about not fast traveling in the regular game is that you get used to where you need to go. So if you play survival afterwards, it makes survival a little bit easier. Since I don't need to check the path to get to Riften from here. I've ran to Riften I don't know how many times. There's that dragon. Alright. It's way over there. Thankfully it's at night. Oh, you can go ham on these dragons in beast form. Oh Lord. And I'm gonna die. Most likely. There are two classes, or two races that have an easier time against these dragons. One is the Altmer, and they have an easier time against flame dragons. The other are the Nord, who have an easier time against frost dragons. Yeah, this is not going well. It's interesting I haven't had any guards help me out on this one. There's one right there. Oh, shoot! Darn, I hate those animations. I would have preferred not to have it not go into that spectacular shot thing, and I could have actually healed myself instead of dying. I hate that thing. That's just one fancy thing that makes no sense. Maybe there's a way to turn that off. Vibration. Apparently not. Okay. Just had to be careful. You had to be careful on things like that. You get stuck in an animation and then basically you're defenseless. I guess anybody who wants to attack you, really. Or in a case like that, you're defenseless against damage over time. Flame being the worst DOT there is. There's no guarantee a dragon will appear again. Just have to listen out. There is one other thing. There's a treasure map that points to an area up here. I've actually forgotten to pick it up. It points to an area behind the windmill being down there. The treasure chest itself is right up here. Gauntlets. Bonus. There's the dragon. Pretty much in the same area. Oops. So take two. Ice now. I don't need plentiful, I need minor. bad thing about it is that this frost is doing damage to my stamina. Not only that, but I'm taking a lot of cold damage. Cold damage at least can be fixed fairly easy. I'm stuck on something. I got him. But it also means I need to drop this off before I can go back to Riften again. In the regular game, ice dragons are so much easier to fight. In this one, by the damage that's done to my health, you can see ice dragons might actually be more dangerous than fire ones. Because the fire damage does DLT with its flames, but it doesn't permanently damage your health or create permanent damage to your health. Although, as I said, repairing this permanent damage to the health is not so bad. You just need to be in a warm area for a short amount of time, and you'll recover that permanent damage, which means it's not really permanent. Maybe I should call it sustained damage. Also, you can hold a torch, and that will cure your sustained health damage for a time as well, since apparently the heat from the torch is enough to warm you up. So the torch is basically counteracting the rain to a degree. If need be, I can also switch to my fur armor, which I found in survival you want to keep two types of armor with you at all times. You want to keep a armor that's based around keeping you warm, a fur type armor, and you also want to keep your damage armor with you. Now, if I'm lucky, my horse is not dead. And she's not. Okay, so on to Riften and to do the vampire quests, because I really do need our back. Even though it's strange, riding around on a skeletal horse. Of course, Shadowmere is a good horse too, but you have to do the Assassin's quest line. And Shadowmere can die, but another Shadowmere will respawn after a certain amount of time. So not quite as good as Arvag, but better than paying 1,000 gold for a horse every time. Also, it's better I fought the dragon by Whiterun than to fight him here. Except most people are inside during nighttime, so. But the thing is, NPCs outside can die. And most of the time I've found on that stretch, if there are any non-combatants, they tend to get out of the way. So I found there's less likely a chance to lose somebody there in that area. Plus then the guards help out. So. Also up ahead there's a spawn point where you could run into a possible encounter. Right there. One thing to keep in mind is that it's random, so you want to be alert when you get to that area right there. Eventually, over time, you'll pick up on where these random encounters will happen. Yeah, if you haven't played Skyrim too much. Everstead is just ahead, and I'll just continue on instead of going there. And it's the next right.
should go first.
Hail, friend. It's good to see another merry soul enjoying this fine day. Ah, but you look tired. Come, share a bottle of Hunting Brew mead with me. Ah, nothing like fine spirits to help raise your... well, your spirits. Cheers, my friend. May your adventures find you fame and fortune.
There's Maik the liar. He's in
Once
multiple
Mike
games.
got in trouble in Riften and fled to Windhelm. It is good that nobody there cared.
That's a mention that you're,
Maik can travel fast across the land. Some lazy types take carriages. It is all the same to Maik.
fast travel mention.
Maik is tired now. Go bother somebody else.
The other is that each hold has a different, I guess you'd say a rating system for how they view you. So you can be have a wanted level in Riften, but not in the other holds. There is, I believe, a trophy behind having a wanted in all the holds. And the easiest way to do that is to get the werewolf ability and just become a werewolf in all the holds. If you turn into a werewolf inside a hold, you'll gain instant notoriety. There's a bear. There's actually a quest not too far up ahead. I found about it the backwards way and ended up breaking the quest because he wants you to find the body or find the person. I found the body first, and for some reason, if you find the body first but don't get the quest, it sort of breaks things. And that one is around here, I think. There is a woodcutter. Yeah, it's right here. I'll let that other one have fun with the spider.
It's just me and my mother at the mill here. My father is gone. We don't know what happened to him.
She must be inside. And I'll be trespassing if I go there, so I'll have to pick this up later. There is a cave near where the Dawn Guard are, where you find the body. If you find the body first in this cave, don't interact with it. You'll want to go back here and pick up the quest first, because otherwise you'll break the quest. And apparently that one can still be broken. I didn't find that out until after. There's a wolf behind me. There's the dead door to Riften. I'm not exactly sure what that door is called, or that gate's called, but it opens up into the graveyard of Riften. And going by some of the older funeral myths, something like a dead door would be a door that's in a house. Basically, if you have a wake, you take the dead out through this door and then you board it up, as if the door had never been there. The meaning behind this is that older cultures thought that, well, especially when you didn't have funeral homes, that the dead could go back through whatever doors that they were brought out of. So in other words, removing a door like that, which one of the names for it's a dead door, would protect the people who live inside the house from the dead coming back for them. This is the same cultures that brought forth the mythological Draugr, and it's a good thing you don't have to face the the version from mythology, because the mythological, mispronounce it. In mythology, the Draugr were undead that came back, and these Draugr were immune to all weapons. So in other words, axes, swords would all bounce off of them. The only way you could...
Oh, hey there. You here to join the Dawn Guard too? Truth is, I'm nervous. Never been anything like this before. I hope you don't mind if I walk up with you. Hey, don't tell Isran I was afraid to meet him by myself. Not the best first impression for a new vampire hunter, I guess.
Anyway, the only way you could stop the mythological Draugr is to wrestle them and take them back into whatever crypt they
You
were
killed lots of vampires, huh? I'm sure Isran will sign you right up.
buried in, and give them a
Sure
proper
you did.
funeral.
I hope so. That must be it. Fort Dawn Guard. Wow. Bigger than I expected.
The Draugr also rose, or would rise, if the funeral processions were improperly done.
Where is everybody? This place looks almost deserted.
So there's a lot you can learn from the game if you look at the actual myths behind them. And by the way, this is one way that you can get a lot of bolts. All you have to do is just let him shoot and pick up whatever bolts he fires, because basically he has an unlimited supply. If you want extra bolts, it is. You can do that with arrows too.
I guess this is it. Wish me luck.
Here to join the Dawn Guard? Good. Isran will decide if you've got what it takes. Go on, he's right inside. I'll tell you, the only thing more surprising than hearing from Isran after all these years was hearing that he wanted my help. I immediately realized things must be pretty bad. Looks like I was right. I have. There was a time years ago when we were both members of the Vigilance, and both equally dissatisfied with them. Their hearts are in the right place, of course, but Isran and I were never comfortable. We left together, but that partnership didn't last very long. I didn't agree with some of his methods. Go on inside. Isran will want to talk to you.
Why are you here, Tolan? The Vigilance and I were finished with each other a long time ago.
You know why I'm here. The Vigilance are under attack everywhere. The vampires are much more dangerous than we believed.
And now you want to come running to safety with the Dawn Guard, is that it? I remember Keeper Carset telling me repeatedly that Fort Dawn Guard is a crumbling ruin, not worth the expense and manpower to repair. And now that you've stirred up the vampires against you, you come begging for my protection.
Isran. Carset is dead. The Hall of the Vigilance, everyone, they're all dead. You were right, we were wrong. Isn't that enough for you?
Yes, well, I never wanted any of this to happen. I tried to warn all of you. I am sorry, you know. So who are you? What do you want? Got a fire in your belly to kill vampires, eh? Good for you. But look around. There's really not much to join yet. I've only just started rebuilding the Order. I need someone out in the field taking the fight to the damn vampires, while we're getting the fort back into shape. Tolan was telling me about some cave the Vigilants were poking around in. Seemed to think it was related to these recent vampire attacks. Tolan, tell her about, what was it? Dim Hollow.
Yes, that's it. Dim Hollow Crypt. Brother Adelwald was sure it held some long-lost vampire artifact of some kind. We didn't listen to him any more than we did Isran. He was at the hall when it was attacked.
That's good enough for me. Go see what the vampires were looking for in this Dim Hollow Crypt. With any luck, they'll still be there. Here, you should take a crossbow. Good for taking out those fiends before they get close. Feel free to poke around the fort and take what you need. There isn't much yet, but you're welcome to anything you can use.
I'll meet you at Dim Hollow. It's the least I can do to avenge my fallen comrades.
Tolan, I don't think that's a good idea. You Vigilants were never trained for...
I know what you think of us. You think we're soft, that we're cowards. You think our deaths proved our weakness. Stendarr granted you do not have to face the same test and be found wanting. I'm going to Dim Hollow Crypt. Perhaps I can be of some small assistance to you.
I'll meet you in Dim Hollow Crypt. I owe these vampires. Of course there are. Most of us spend our lives as nomads, traveling from place to place in our endless war against evil. I wish I could say how many we numbered, but only a privileged few knew that. They're dead now.
Boy, huh? What's your weapon?
Yes. By destroying it, vampires hope to cripple our Order's activities in Skyrim. I suspect now it was Brother Adelwald's journals they were after. He was obsessed with ancient vampire artifacts and burial sites.
Here, take this crossbow. Let's see how you shoot.
The hall was a place of respite, learning, and comradeship, where a road-weary brother or sister could rest for a time in peace and comfort. Most of our learning could be found there. We always studied our enemies, so we might better learn how to defeat them. But, of course, those days are gone now. Brother Adelwald had been there not long ago. Said he found something of great importance. It must have been important to the vampires as well, for them to risk an open attack on the Vigilance.
You need to concentrate, boy. Try it again.
Stendarr watch over you.
I need to drop some things off.
Take a deep breath and let it out as you fire.
You kind of want to take a deep breath, let it out, then fire. Much easier to shoot that way. Eventually, as you build, you can get armored trolls. And you really want to do all these quests before you do the last mission in the vampire quest line. Because you want to upgrade your crossbow, and you also want the armored trolls to help out. Less people die that way.
Take a deep breath and let it out as you fire.
So you definitely want to do many of these side quests. You also get interesting things such as exploding bolts and dwarven bolts, which do more damage than the steel bolts do. Okay, now to head off to that mission. There is one good thing about being a werewolf, and I've neglected to say that while you're a werewolf, you cannot contract vampirism. And I think that's why I did the Companion's Quest first. Because as a werewolf, you have complete immunity to that disease. You really don't want to eat uncooked food, because it'll just make you sick. Riften's here too, but you can only enter in from one side at the moment for your first entry. After that, then there's no problem. There's also a farm with Nernroot up here as well. Quite a few Nernroot. In this area, that is.
Give 'em the dogs, boys! Now ain't this a surprise?
The strange thing about Maik is he's in the other games as well, but there's no indication if it's the same Maik or not, which is the strange part. pointing at Mike might actually be a deity. Just wandering around. He'll win.
wonder. What does the Dragonborn do once he's been summoned by the Craven?
Okay, I need to rest here in my home. Then I'll head off to hunt vampires. Well, vampires and gargoyles for that matter.
What do you need?
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions. Everything's for... Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. Do come back.
I work for Bellathor at the General... Come by Bellathor's shop at the market. I'm sure we've got something you need.
Divine smile on you, friend.
Oh, her doll. don't think it shows you your fatigue and
Honor
level.
to you.